Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Welcome to your bonus reading. I want to say that I feel proud of you. So I feel like you are starting something. You're beginning, or you're trusting yourself in some way. And I just want to say I'm proud of you. Like I can feel it. Anyways, this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You could be intuitively guided for sure. You might have planets, whatever brought you. Welcome. I'm going to use 3 different decks. We're going to, of course, use our Mother Mary Oracle. But then I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot for you. And then I'm going to use the Knight of Tarot. No, the Tarot of Night. Tarot of Night, which, the images are somewhat darker. But I feel like, I don't know, there's something, I want to use them with the Light Seers for you, because the Light Seers, I feel, was a very positive deck. It's very optimistic, though it has its normal challenges like the rest. But this, I feel like, shows more, almost like the moon part of ourselves. Okay, but let's begin with Mother Mary. I'm going to give him a shuffle. Everything's pre-shuffled, by the way. Let's give him a cut. And let's begin. That didn't take long. All right, from Mother Mary. Open your heart. Open your heart. I allow myself to feel the full range of emotions, especially all forms of love. I allow myself to feel the full range of emotions, especially all forms of love. Open your heart. I feel like don't let fear come before it. Fear is meant to alarm you of something, but you're not meant to live in it, right? I feel like, I don't know why I'm feeling this all of a sudden, but I feel like if there's some type of fear, facing it is what I would need to do. Then I feel like then I could open my heart completely. So, okay, we'll see how that plays in. All right, let's bring in the Light Seers Tarot now. We'll read that at the end of the reading, by the way. It always relates back. I feel like the words are always so profound at the end. And we'll understand it. So right now, let's just say, and open your heart. To all forms of love. Okay. I think I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm going to bring it down too low. And I'm trying to keep my arms off the table so I don't shake the camera. Well, first card you get is the Nine of Pentacles. How beautiful. This is building one's independence. This is someone who was willing to put the focus, or is willing to put the focus in and build their pentacles. They're building their independence. You're building your independence at the same time. It's the energy of being able to take care of yourself. And it feels like, when I can take care of me, then a lot else melts away. You know what I mean? Like the fat of whatever melts away. This is success. That's what it's about. Successful. Can be self-employment. A lot of times it's self-employment. It's coming from you and your creativity. So your creative ideas and epiphanies that you're receiving, paying attention to them. Okay, anyway, I like that as your first card. We have the Five of Cups. Interesting. And then we have the Eight of Wands. First thing I feel like I want to say here is, because I feel like there's a couple different messages, but I feel like this Five of Cups here, you know, like sometimes, you know, I'm in an energy, like let's say an emotional type energy that isn't, it's just not what I prefer. It's not happening the way I prefer, that type of thing. Five of Cups can be like getting pulled into that, you know, the energy of feeling of loss, right? But truly what the Five of Cups is about, first of all, it's a five, so it wants you to change. Something needs to change. And interesting enough, you have an 8 right next to it, which is a new beginning. So change, the 5, right? Change what? My focus. Get my focus out of what I think I have lost. Because in this energy are 2 cups that have yet to be found. Whatever and whoever they may be. Sometimes I feel like we just gotta let go of, like, the more we can let go of control of that, and I feel like someone has now taken this energy of, like, again, like, what I have lost, right? When I feel woe is me, and listen, I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel woe is me, but it doesn't serve you to stay in it, right? I feel like I'm refocusing my attention onto my pentacles. And listen, maybe even your experiences through your pentacles. And I feel like that's what kind of gets the ball rolling, what gets you on this new path. And then the 8 of Wands, what I think about, I bring about. Trusting your thoughts. Let me reword that. Knowing which of your thoughts are truth and which are false, right? We can tell ourselves false truths, false beliefs, right? So the clarity of that. This is truly your intention going out into the universe, and it will come back. And I like that right at this moment, it's mirroring the 9 of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, there's something here that maybe builds into success much faster than I expected. First of all, I got to make some type of change, put the focus there, and then think about, like, my intentions. So, new beginning. Sometimes a new beginning can just be you, yourself, right? It's like, I have a new way of looking at life. At least be open to whatever. I don't know. Alright, well, with Page of Wands, and I love seeing that, because I feel like this is taking a chance on something. This is, you know, to me the Page of Wands is kind of fearless. Like, you know what, I'm going to kick this, I'm going to kick the ass out of this. It's funny, she's shooting her wand out into the universe. Almost like understanding the energy, right? It's like a circle. Again, the energy of what I think about, I bring about. But this is someone who wants to manifest. And listen, it's definitely the energy of action. It is... I feel like because it's mirroring the 9 of Pentacles, it's also like just kind of being free with yourself. Like whatever you're doing in the 9 of Pentacles, just allow what wants to be to flow. Just allow it to flow. All right. Well, hello, Chariot. Chariot. Card of Cancer, by the way. coming into the Nine of Pentacles. I often feel the Chariot is a reward. It comes to us when we can handle it. It's about balance, you know, of the light and dark within ourselves. We can't really control others, right? But we can control ourselves. This is about the balance of masculine and feminine. You know, I know exactly what it means. Sometimes I'm more in my masculine type energy than I am in my feminine type energy. So it's like, and you know, and I don't mean like I'm a man. I don't mean it like that. Anyway, the Chariot, it's, you know, what have I learned that allows this Chariot to come in? What I have learned that my intentions, what I put out into the universe, but letting go of control somewhat, right? And that's what the Page of Wands is. I'm just like throwing it out there. And what comes back comes back. The Chariot is unlimited potential. Unlimited potential, and I like that it's coming right under the Nine of Pentacles. Because beyond all, I feel like finding balance with oneself is probably the most important. When I look at nines, I do think of the self. Same thing with an 8. But in this 9, I'm busy. I'm creating. I'm building. And I'm building my independence. And if I can, I'm allowing the energy to flow. I'm reminding myself what I think about, I bring about. I don't want to stay in the, you know, what I have lost. Because, listen, sometimes things feel like, oh my God, my life is over. But this is a reminder that, especially as it relates to love, like there's still 2 cups that this person has yet to discover. And they will when they turn around, right? Eventually, they will find those 2 cups, or they will stumble upon them, type of thing. But I feel like it's kind of unplanned. I just trust it. What do I have? Oh, the Chariot. So I think more than ever, it's like trusting in yourself. Even using your own experiences to help build, you know, I feel like build independence for yourself. The Chariot, it's like, you know, it's like, damn, I had the power all the time. I don't know why I'm feeling that. And look at this, the 3 of Wands. Wow. We're just like turning your energy around immediately. So under the 5 of Cups is the 3 of Wands. Well, I'm looking through an optimistic view. I have an optimistic view through the 3 of Wands. You know, I like every card that's here. The 5 of Wands, but I feel like that's easily changed. It doesn't mean that I don't still know that I lost what I lost, or I don't still feel what I feel, type of thing. But what it's saying is I'm not going to sit there and do nothing because of that, right? Maybe I'm going to channel it through my pentacles and, just, you know, just so happens to create success and independence for yourself. And I feel like, you know, with this Chariot, it's like, you know, the 3 of Wands to me, it's like she knows that her ships are coming in. But she's not even thinking about that. She's in the present moment type energy. She's enjoying her life from the present moment. You know, even if there's like, no matter what's going on, this is like, I feel like as it relates to you, like staying optimistic. Staying optimistic. Listen, one thing may not have worked out, but it doesn't mean something else won't open up. You know, this is about ships coming in, but really, I'm not trying to control. I'm not trying to control them. Like, they'll come in as they want to come in. Does that make sense? Well, look at this. 2 8s. 8 of Wands on top, and now the 8 of Swords. You know, I don't know if it was your reading for September, your monthly reading. But I felt like, almost like, you know, this can be like a crossroads type of thing. Because the 8 of Wands, like, let me at it. Action. When I think of Wands, I think of action. 8 of Wands talks about fast moving energy. But the 8 of Swords is a self-created prison. Self-created. Self-created. Which means the only person who can uncreate it is the one who created it. I feel like this is saying that a lot of this change through the 5 of Cups and then the new beginning is because of your Pentacles. Almost like I'm focusing, I'm changing my focus. And I feel like once you change your focus, everything else will follow suit. I'm either going to do it or I'm not. I feel like that's what the 8 of Wands, like, you know, and then think of the 8 of Swords. Well, that's very limited type thinking, right? Like I don't want to hear what anybody else has to say. I don't want to see what anybody else. I don't want to be in the world. This is where, you know, this person tells themselves that they're tied to a situation, but they don't understand it. It's them themselves that can set themselves free. It's like your higher self knows that, right? Because there's 2 here of the same person, and one looking at the one entrapped. Like your higher self is like, It's interesting though, because it kind of feels like the you in the 8 of Swords is kind of holding down the you who feels like there's no binds or bounds, or is that the word? Doesn't feel bound to something. So 2 8s, 88. I don't know. Whoa. Alright. I'm not going to take all those. We're going to take the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles mirroring the Chariot. It's almost like the magic happening right where you stand, like right within your home. You know, the only thing with the 4 of Pentacles is I can be, you know, if I look at this woman, she's like clutching her coin bag, or, you know, whatever it is, and it's like this feeling of being resistant, right? Being like, I don't know, like her head's turned, like I don't even see you. So I don't know what that means at this moment, other than I feel like it's just saying in the 8 of Swords energy, it can create a resistant type energy, almost like the refusal of hearing, even growing, right? It's like I'm almost blocking my opportunities. Now, the Page of Wands is about that, so I already know this is a positive energy, and I feel like there's some type of magic potentially, but especially with the 9 of Pentacles too, which is potential self-employment. Feels like some type of magic like taking place within the home. I feel like I just need to think about myself and what kind of energy am I creating for myself. It's not even about anybody else or the world. It's just, and I'm saying it because I feel like the opportunities are here for you. It's about you. And in that energy, I'm sure other things change just when they need to, type of thing. We have the King of Wands. Can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, potentially, could be you. And then we have Temperance, who wanted to be seen underneath that, can be Sagittarius. But this is about divine timing. This is the energy of, patience. Patience. Often when I see this king, I feel like this king is climbing his mountaintop. And I feel like we all have our mountain that we have to climb. And listen, I feel like we have to climb it. Maybe the water gets higher and higher. You know what I mean? Like, we got to climb it. Anyway, I feel like this king wanted to climb it. And maybe there's more mountains. But, I feel singular, like in a singular way, this king conquering that mountain. I feel that often with that king. Oh, temperance, patience. Maybe something didn't happen quite quick enough for me, so I doubted it instead of just trusting. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes there can be no action or little action within my effort. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like being on YouTube. There can be times when you feel like, because you don't have complete control, right? It's like your business, but you still don't have complete control. It's almost a partnership. What am I trying to say? Dang it. I forgot what I was going to say. Alright, well, if it wants to come back out, it'll come back out. Alright, so we're using the Tarot of Night now. And we're going to look at this energy. We have the King of Pentacles. Can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be any of that. King of Pentacles is someone who, when they look at the situation, they look at it from the big picture. Remember that, especially if you're dealing with one, or you are one. Like, normally, like the Queen of Pentacles is the one, I want the details. Like, buddy, I want the details. And the king is like, well, I'll give you the big picture of it all. Let me just give you the ending, and then, you know what I mean? And I don't know that there's anything wrong with either one. I feel like it's just the way, just the way I am kind of energy. But anyways, this king seems to be attached to this Nine of Pentacles. Let's see why. Interesting that the Chariot is below this energy. This could be someone that's riding, they're on this ride with you. Look at that. That makes perfect sense. The Eight of Pentacles. This could be, I don't know. I just feel like, here's this King of Pentacles coming over the Nine of Pentacles, right? So I feel like some way, listen, maybe this is some king that I've learned something and ultimately brought me to balance within myself. Or for some of you, this is a king that maybe is going to become involved within something that you're creating. Maybe not yet. But maybe will be. And it's interesting because, let's face it, if I look at the stats on my channel, it's like about 80% female and 20% male. But I keep both in mind no matter what. I don't know why I'm saying that, other than, I don't know why. So here's the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. You know, it's saying what I just said earlier, where I'm putting my focus, right? So coming over this Five of Cups, I'm not focusing on what I've lost. I'm not focusing on woe is me, even if I have every right to. It doesn't serve you. That's why. Really, because how you look at life and then the action. Remember, in the Three of Wands, it is action, right? Eight of Wands, fast-moving action. Page of Wands, let me at it. And then the Eight of Pentacles, a business that I'm building. Something that I'm building. Something that I've decided to put my focus on instead of. And it's interesting how this is like a circle. Eight of Pentacles to Nine of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is coming over, again, that energy of what was, what I've lost, why I feel sad. And I feel like I'm refocusing that. And I'm using it to create. Now, I feel like this King, I don't know. I don't know if this King, because I feel like this is you creating. Well, let's keep going. And then, I don't know, maybe the King. It's funny because I feel like this King is seeing you. And it's interesting because it is Pentacles. So I feel like seeing you create this structure for yourself. Like, I feel like it feels good. Okay. We have the Moon. Excuse me, guys. This is the card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. We do have double Cancer on the table. This is about things that happen in the night. Maybe this is a business that takes place at night. This can be uncertainty. But I feel like I move forward anyway. You know, it's coming over the Eight of Wands, so I feel like if it's uncertainty, like, you know, I'm not sure, that it will be the the Nine of Pentacles. And I feel like, but if you focus in that direction, you know, and be open, I feel like you're just you're inspired. Inspiredly guided. I feel like I'm not saying the right words. We have the Four of Pentacles again. She looks proud. She looks proud. I feel like she looks proud of what she's creating. You know, when you think of the four, think of the foundation. It can be of anything, of all things, right? Because anything we're creating, we want to create a strong foundation with it. Otherwise, if a tower comes along, it's just going to knock the whole damn thing down. But if we create a strong tower, a strong foundation, towers don't have the power that they once did. So I feel like she feels proud. It's almost like how I opened this reading up. Okay. I think that's a good thing. You know, it's interesting because I'm seeing the moon, and this is not for me to bring in my personal stories, but the reason why I do is because I feel like other people relate to it. Or I know what this is saying at this moment. Like, I know my daughter has an Aquarius moon, and my son, who many of you know has crossed over, was Leo. And, you know, I feel that not only does he watch over her, now, it doesn't mean it promises that life is, you know, you still got to go through your challenges, right? But I feel like it's interesting. It's almost like just where I put him, like he's standing guard. And I feel in this Four of Pentacles, I'm letting go. Interesting, I can see the moon out the window, and the moon is right next to this Four of Pentacles. Here, it's much more resistant type energy, and that Eight of Swords, right? I feel like I just gotta let it go. I gotta open up my window, and I gotta let it go. And I feel like, know that you're being protected. What's that mean? It means you can handle whatever it is you need to handle, but you do need to handle it. And I feel like, you know, but also, it's like just trusting in what you feel and going with the flow. Here, there's a lot of resistance. Here, it's the opposite. It's going with the flow. All right. I feel like someone's asking themselves, will I be able to buy my own home one day? And I feel like if that is your goal, then we know it has to do with finances. And I feel like this is talking about, you know, really creating independence for yourself. So I feel like, you know, it will be up to you. But if you put your focus there, like if saving the money, you know, whatever it takes, I feel like the answer will be yes. I don't know. I feel like someone out there was just asking that question. Okay. Let's look at the Chariot. I gotta put my foot down. My foot fell asleep. Well, the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. Unexpected. Can't plan it. But I can tell you one thing, when it does come, it comes through the Chariot's energy. This is a knight. You know, when you think about a knight, think of a knight is sent to complete a mission, right? The king or the queen. Could be this king, right? Could be this king. Is sent to complete something. The king or the queen. And the knight will die trying. You know what I mean? Like the knight will complete the mission. So this knight is bringing in some type of you know, cup of joy, emotions. Who knows? It's something that I feel like can truly make you happy. Maybe that's why Mother Mary is saying, open your heart to all forms of love. The Chariot, you know, it's coming over the Chariot. And the Chariots, when I realize that it's like I am the one who is writing this play. It's me. Yes, divine's there, you know, but it's my free will and my decisions and my crossroads, and you know what I mean? And it's not about regret. It's about right this moment, understanding, you know, the seeds I'm planting right now, right here, is the harvest I will have in the future. How do I want my life to look? I got to be willing to put the work in, no doubt. That's what the Eight of Pentacles says. Be willing to put the work in, and boom, here is success. It's already here. What am I holding? The Knight of Cups. This could be unexpected love of some type. We have the 8 of Cups. Interesting. So you have 3 8s. 4 8s. Wait a minute. You have 4 8s. Look at this. 8, 8, 8, 8. Wow. I feel like, here's this knight coming in, right? But it's met with the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups, again, it is self. And it's about a new beginning. It doesn't always mean physically. It can mean mentally. It can mean emotionally, right? It's like letting go of the weight. What's no longer, those things that hold us back. 8 of Cups is looking within the emotional house, right? So, I don't know. I feel like if I'm saying that I'm working on myself, then maybe where I want to start is within my emotional house. But then also how and I feel like, of course, from the past can even be the present, right? But what I'm really looking for, first of all, is patterns, but also how is it affecting me in my present day moment, and does it serve me? If I'm trying to control something but I just can't, is that hurting me or is that helping me? If I can't control it, I gotta let it go. I gotta trust that what will be right for me. And that's what the Knight of Cups is about. It's it's just not any old cup. But I feel like when we say we're working on ourselves, we have to look within our emotional house. And a lot of times it's like stored. And it's not to judge yourself. It's just to understand yourself. Okay. I just find that 4 8s, like 88, 88, 16, 16. It's 4 times 8, 24. Right? We have the 4 of Swords. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm happy to see this because this is about healing. The 4 Swords. It's healing. It's allowing myself to heal. And it's about freeing yourself. It's interesting. It's coming right over that 8 of Swords, and that's what needs healed. Right next to the 8 of Cups. That's what needs healed. And I'm saying needs healed. Really what I mean is, who knows? Like, just my change of focus can change my life. I don't know. Look at this. And then we have the Strength card. Wow. Card of Leo. Wow. Strength card is about overcoming the beast within ourselves. There's a lot of energy of the balance within us. I also feel like, boy, do I feel like some of you are being intuitively guided your steps, but I do feel like you're being resistant to it. I do feel that. Like you don't have to be, but you are. Not everybody. But that's okay. You know, it's, again, not about judging it. It's just like, how do I want to live? How do I want my life to look? This is definitely, at least for my daughter, but I feel like for really all of you, speaking of how her brother is her protector. Alright, I'm not quite ready to end yet. I feel like we have the Queen of Cups. So I'm just going to go right down the middle. Queen of Cups can be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What the heck? I don't know why it's so complicated. Queen of Cups now connected to the Nine of Pentacles, the Chariot, and this King of Pentacles. Some of you probably have water in your chart. Okay. I just don't feel like I'm meant to take this. But I am taking this. Dang it. 10 of Swords. Barely keeping my head above water. Barely keeping my head above water. You know, it's interesting because I feel like, you know, there's different perspectives. If I look down at this from the King of Pentacles perspective, or even the King of Swords, and then we have the King of Wands, any of theirs, let's say I'm looking down at it. First of all, I feel like this is the energy of someone barely keeping their head above water. And I don't want to say the funny thing about it, but I want to say the interesting thing about it is I feel like they do not have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. I feel like someone really, I'm hoping, will recognize their power. You know, it's interesting because the Queen of Pentacles comes before the 10 of Swords. And this Queen definitely feels affected by it, right? Her back is to the window. Her head is down. But nonetheless, here's this Knight. And it is attaching these people. But this Queen feels like 10 Swords type energy. You know, if you find yourself in the 10 Swords energy, and that's where you just feel like there's dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger. I expect bad things to happen, and therefore they do. I expect bad things to happen, therefore they do. I need to change. I need to see the pattern of that. And it can be simply my thoughts. I expect good things to happen, and therefore they do. This king, you know, climbing to his mountain means he's found his truth, right? And that doesn't mean he's not open to learning. It just means he's found his truth. There's no need to wear a blindfold any longer. I don't know. 10 Swords, like I'm barely holding my head above water. That's what it feels like in that energy. You know, one is the 8 of Cups and one is the 8 of Pentacles. We have the World. The World can certainly represent the next portal, right? The new, you know, it's coming over a lot of 8s. So it's a new beginning. It may be just a new way of being. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's finding balance, right? I do feel like for a lot of you, like, you know, your answer to being stuck is within your focus. I do feel like, you know, the energy of creating from what you've already learned. You know, it's like it's like receiving a master's degree, but in life. What am I holding? The world. It's very spiritual. I'm on a spiritual journey. She feels, you know, she's a nun, and I don't know, it just reminds me of, I went to Catholic school for grade school, and just, I don't know why, it reminds me of one of the nuns there. Right there, very, is strict the right word, or orderly? We have the Page of Wands again. And then look at this, we have the Two of Cups. Wow. Aquarius. Two of Cups is coming over the Knight of Cups. Soulmate energy. Open your heart. Mother Mary opened this reading with. I feel like, you know, it's like I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. But at the same time, I want to say, I do feel the energy of needing to understand that it is me who will free me. And it is me who will create independence for me. Now, I don't mean that in a selfish way. I just mean, it's almost like saying my way, if I'm looking for a way out, right? Because again, my head is barely above water. It's putting the power back in your hands, and that realization of it, feeling that, you know, and allowing it to flow. Some of you, I do feel like it's interesting because I feel like your spirit guides are defending you. When I'm saying defending you, maybe they're sending you signs, but I do feel there's some, not everybody, but some are resisting that, right? Instead of flowing, I'm putting some type of resistance on that. It can even be within love. I find it quite interesting that the Strength card is mirroring the Knight of Pentacles and the the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups. And again, I often think of that as my daughter's, one of her guides. And I think, well, who would better to guide love, right? Soulmate energy, whatever it may be. Maybe we don't even need to put it, you know, it's a soulmate. And maybe that's just good enough. I feel like free yourself. Find that power within you because you have it. You know, using your life experiences. It's like you don't have to go to college to receive that degree in life. You've received it. You have it. Well, the final reflection upon it, you know, and then using it. It's like using it. What do I mean by that? I don't mean like allowing yourself to feel it over and over again, but when you see it, you recognize it. That makes sense? Anyway, I feel like I should leave it there. You know, I feel like the soulmate will arrive in the right time. And I feel like, you know, honestly, I feel like no matter what I want in my life, it's all going to start with me. And then again, I feel that even like if like some of you owning your own home. When? I don't know. It's going to depend on you. And I feel like, again, I feel like whatever effort you put out, maybe moving forward, is like amplified through the Eight of Wands. Amplified. It does feel like it takes trust, right? Because it's coming through the moon's energy. You could talk about moving from the harvest moon into the October full moon. But whatever, you know, the world, I feel like, is a very spiritual time. And Four of Swords right below that, you know, like this healing. Not just healing from above, but also healing of oneself, right? Because that's what I feel like I'm realizing here. Like, man, I always felt like the power was with them. And maybe in some ways it is, but you can take it back. That's the thing. This is about building you, and then just watch what happens. Watch what happens. I mean, you know, at the end of the reading is this Knight of Cups, who's ushering in the Two of Cups energy, soulmate type energy. Not type, a soulmate. I don't want to say soulmate type, but a soulmate. Now, does it always have to be romantically? It doesn't have to be. But I do feel interesting how I see this king kind of overseeing this Nine of Pentacles. Almost like, you know, this Nine of Pentacles are created because of you. Maybe someone sees that potential in you, and now you need to see it within yourself. You know, sometimes people are put along our path to help us expand our life in some way. And sometimes that can be like, you know, that mirror type energy where it's almost like seeing exactly what it is I don't want to see about myself in someone else. But if I recognize that, then I can, you know, I don't want to say eliminate it, but I find the balance within it. So, anyways, I'm still talking. Let's go ahead and read Open Your Heart. Open Your Heart. What am I doing? There it is. This is a card with a very important message for you. Spend less time thinking and analyzing and more time feeling and experiencing. Mother Mary asks you to open your heart more. She realizes that you may have some fears about being emotionally hurt, and she offers to comfort, support, and guide you. Of all the components of your spiritual path, opening yourself up to experiencing love is the most essential. Make the conscious choice to risk being hurt and drop your emotional defenses. Be vulnerable and real and allow others to get to know the true you. Mother Mary and Archangel Michael act as your shield so that you can be open and protected. Open yet protected. Wow. Wow. All right. So funny. This is when I start thinking about your title, and it's like, wow. It feels profound. And I know for some it will take a moment or two before they get it, right? But I feel like once you start moving into, and it's so funny because even with Mother Mary speaking about the world, you know, was really speaking about the world's energy. And maybe it's time for you to enter it. I mean, you're barely keeping your head above water as it is. But all this power that you have that maybe you don't use, I don't know. Anyways, I love you guys. Keep your heart open. You're going to conquer those mountains, you know, but go after them. And I think you're going to conquer them. And I'm going to stop talking. I love you. It's supposed to be a bonus. I find the bonuses longer than the monthlies. Don't forget your monthly is already done for September. Yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.